When I'm involved in brawls, I start glowing. Your broads are like where you're going. What you're holding ain't the cards showing. What's the brouhaha? What's the brouhaha? I gotta go, stop your moaning. Gotta push up more weight than Hogan. And stop till I'm on late with Conan. What's the brouhaha?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another exciting adventure of What's the Brouhaha? I'm here with a banger from Legion of Men about these women claiming to be traditional and just going to show that you can't commit to anything out here right now. There's nothing out here that you can commit to. So without further ado, let's just jump in and let's see what it's all about.
All right, let's get into this crazy shit that's happening. So there's this chick, her name is Sarah Stock. What people may not know who she is, she was some kind of like trad Catholic influencer, had started growing a big following, was making the rounds on podcasts, and here she is in a video claiming to be a virgin for marriage on the whatever podcast. So let's just play this real quick and then I'll bring you guys up to speed on what's happening.
I'm Sarah Stock. I'm 20. I'm from Newport Beach. I'm single. I've never had a long, serious relationship or anything. I've had like 2 pretty short relationships and a lot of first dates kind of thing.
How many first dates would you say you've had?
No idea.
This story's crazy.
More than 10, more than 20, more than 30?
I don't know. Probably around 20 over my life.
Okay. What's the longest period of time that you've dated a guy?
Like 2.5, 3 months, I think.
So this goes back because people say don't know who this person is. This is another chick in the trad femme, trad con, trad Catholic sphere, conservative women online, always saying some base stuff about marriage, having children, anti-feminism, all this shit, right? And I tell you guys all the time, for those of you that watch Candace, for those of you that watch this chick, for those of you that watched whoever the last chick was, all of them covert feminists, all of them major, all of them turned out to be massive pieces of shit and found out completely grifting. It was all fake. It's all for the money. Who is this chick? She's a chick that got married, was even blessed by the Pope, made her husband wait until after marriage to have sex, and then explosive news comes out that she was f***ing this dude, her boss, the entire time before. Told her husband she was a virgin. Months making this guy wait. This dude was his own little, like, you know, a chud Catholic, good guy. Waited until marriage only for his wife to have her essentially back blown out and her guts rearranged for months on end with her boss. It's crazy. This is her going on a podcast talking about she's a virgin, doesn't do anything, never been with any guys, doing the trad woman, probably on the podcast to on all these girls that are most likely OnlyFans and God knows what else, feminists and all that.
Would you call it a situationship?
No.
Have you ever called somebody your boyfriend?
Yeah.
You're also religious, correct?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Are you waiting until marriage?
Yep.
Have you always waited till marriage?
Yes.
You both are virgins, is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So listen, you can't commit to anything out here, brother. Like, you can't. And I'm not, listen, man, it's like, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just, everyone needs to find out their way. You know, I was married, I get it. I have a baby mama, I was married, I get it. So everyone has to find out their way, but there's nothing out here that you can commit to. You can have fun. You can position yourself as the guy who just wants to party, who just wants to chill. Position yourself, no dating, no paying, just party. And just, if you see a chick that you're feeling that you would like to get to know, just go holler, just holler. That's it. And listen, when you, cause I know everybody gives me a lot of, like, you know, flack for this, but well, not like everybody, some people. So when you are out there and you see a chick that catches your eye, it's not your bitch. It's not your bitch. It will never be your bitch. There's no guy's chick. It just isn't. It doesn't matter how nice she is. Doesn't matter. She's a nice girl. Doesn't matter her background, age, height, religion, not religious, whatever background, doesn't matter. Demeanor, behavior is good if she's cool, of course. But none of that matters. Is she's not chaperoned. And that's something no one is saying. These chicks are outside and not chaperoned. There's no guidance. There's no father. There's no brother brokering their marriages. And listen, I don't know how many times we have to meander about as a society, failing fundamentally. If you're just having fun and just setting up rotations and just chilling, okay, that's fine. And fornication is a separate debate, but that as a society, as having families, real families, where you got the DNA test, it's your kids, and your wife isn't cheating on you, and you as a man are being upfront. So if you're going to have side chicks, everyone knows, and there's no lying. And if you're going to have a second wife, even though it's illegal in this country, which is another issue, whereas other kinds of marriages are not illegal, yet people are perplexed on why there is a birth rate decline. But that's the kind of world we're in, and we could go into why that is also. But there's nothing out there that is your lady. There are no commitments anywhere. And I don't understand how guys are still dating. And no guy should ever be paying. That goes without saying. But I don't understand how they're still dating. I don't understand that. Because you should just be cold approaching or getting friends to introduce you to friends or throwing parties, etc. Parties is the new dating, really. Functions, parties, chilling, get-togethers, groups of people, ratioed groups of people, i.e. 90% females. I just don't understand how anybody is still operating under the dating framework. I see couples out there, and you can tell that it's a placeholder guy and some chick just leading him around by the nose. And it's terrible. It's terrible because you know how it's going to end. You know what's happening. You know what the dynamic is. And it's just terrible. But every guy will learn one way or the other. There is no real family. There is no real marriage. Every guy should get a DNA test. I mean, bro, I'm not trying to be funny, bro, because it's messed up. I have a daughter. I don't see my daughter anymore. This might be TMI, but I don't see my kid anymore because the mother and we don't get along. We have different directions on how to raise our daughter. But I never got a DNA test. Luckily, she has full custody and she never hounded me or anything. So at least I'm lucky when it comes to that. So there are no real marriages out here. There are no real marriages. There are no real couples in any real way. Everything is a free for all because people fundamentally underestimate and misunderstand what women are and just the dynamics between men and women and how a society functions fundamentally. It's undeniable. It's just undeniable. But let's jump back in and see what else is going on.
No shame. Just
Yeah.
Okay,
Right
cool.
as I said yes.
What's your body count?
It's 4. I can give like a roundabout,
Sure.
like 120.
120. Okay.
God damn.
4.
8. 0. 0.
0.
Whoa.
See, and the thing that's so funny, the red pill emphasizes body count, and I get it. It's an entertaining topic, but it's irrelevant. Not because of you shouldn't care about the nature of a female or the nature of where she's at. That's not why. That's what the feminists would argue. Feminism is completely ineffective and false. And that's me being really nice. It's deranged. It's actually massively deranged. And we all fell for it. So they caught everybody. They caught me. They caught a lot of people. We all fell for it. We are all wrong. And you need to have that come to Jesus moment where you realize we're all wrong, or that awakening, that moment of clarity where you understand that we all got duped, we're all wrong. The last maybe few years or so, I've definitely woken up. So that's the real woke, is waking up from the woke. But you have to understand what's really happening, that body count is entertaining, but it's irrelevant, because once she's outside, once a chick is unchaperoned, she's not your chick. Even if she's a virgin, if she's a virgin and she's unchaperoned and she doesn't have her father or her brother getting in front of, between her and the world, then it's going to only end one way. It's just going to end with her engaging in sleeping around first, and marriage is an afterthought. And that's why it's declining. That's why the birth rates are declining. That's why you're hard pressed to find a wise man or a awake man, a sane man who will plunge into marriage without having his ducks in a row, where she's chaperoned before and during the marriage, and she has a 360 family. Just you, her, and the kids is not enough. You need a 360 family. That's why chicks say, you don't pay enough attention to me. Women are not the best communicators like people say. There's this myth that women have ESP, or that they're good communicators and readers of character and all of this. I mean, not so much. The only thing that women do well is maybe see where your mood is in the moment. That's one thing women are somewhat good at. It's just having a sense of where everyone's mood is. But that's as far as it goes. It doesn't then help her to figure out who's gonna marry her and who isn't, or who's a good guy or who's not a good guy. None of that. And if they think so, it's failing. Like, women are, if that's the framework, it's failing. Because if you're running around as a chick and your first 3 guys you don't end up marrying and staying with successfully 10 years, or at least until most of the kids are teenagers. In this day and age, that would be considered a successful marriage, if they stay together until the youngest kid is like 14 and up and running and in the full swing of things. But none of that is happening, because women fundamentally are marrying guys who are their double digit, triple digit guy, maybe even quadruple digit. But it's irrelevant. It's not her first, or it's not her first 3. It's not her top 3, because the goal isn't marriage. The goal is to just accumulate what they perceive as experience and food and traveling, which is pretty pathetic. But this is where we are, right? I mean, it's distraction and diversion, because from their vantage point, it boosts their ego. You know, they are very susceptible to propaganda, messaging, campaigns, any suggestions. They're very susceptible to suggestions. So this is what it is. That's why I say, if you're a guy that wants to go out there and fornicate, you should focus on vertical game, which is just being the tribal leader, the leader of the group. Simply put, women are attracted to groups and men are attracted to women. It's that simple. So if you embody that, you'll do just fine. But body count is irrelevant. If she's outside and if she's unchaperoned and she's not with her father or brother, etc., regularly, then that's nobody's chick, and you shouldn't be trying to commit to her. You can have fun. She might be a nice girl. She might be a girl that's worth knowing on some level, potentially. And I'm saying that to be generous, but dating and seriousness and relationships should never be a part of the calculus. It should never be a part of the consideration. You should just be chilling, which is, I mean, it's not a death sentence. Oddly enough, they respond to that better anyway. So it's nuts when you'll have such pushback, not just from women, but it's mostly from women, but also from the guys who follow these women. Some people call them the C word. But I'll just say guys who follow women blindly versus guys who don't follow women. Stop following women. Throw parties, have fun. It's not a death sentence. There should be no issue with anything I'm saying. Have fun. Body count doesn't matter because it's not your bitch. It never will be your bitch. It's not your lady. It's not your woman. It never will be. But lucky enough, you don't need to date or to be her husband or boyfriend or sugar daddy to obtain access to her physically. You don't need that. So just understand that and push forward consensually. Have to say that because everyone's always looking to attack you. So push forward socially and you'll be fine. You will be just fine. And don't take anything seriously. That's it. Just have fun. Have a good time. So body count is largely irrelevant. I understand it's an interesting topic. It's funny. It's unfortunate for the chicks with high body counts, but this is where we are. In my purview, it's unfortunate for the chicks that are simply unchaperoned. But of course, the higher the body count past 5 and 10, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that most of these chicks don't even have long-term relationships of any kind in any real way. But you know, this is where we are. So let's jump back in and let's see where they take it.
Okay. Jake?
Surrounded by purity here. I feel it rubbing off on me.
Yeah. And then listen to this. So after she got caught up, so she had an affair with this dude, Elijah Schaffer, some other guy. Yeah, I think he's in the conservative sphere too. I don't follow these people. I just find it funny because we were talking about stop listening to women that call themselves conservatives. Stop taking advice from these chicks in the cult, trad sphere, the conservative sphere, politics, any positions of influence. It's all a grift. You want a real traditional woman? You want a real conservative woman? Get her in the kitchen. Get her off the internet. I told you guys on those videos prior, if she's on the internet, she's not your girl. She's our girl. If your woman's got social media, if she's on Instagram posting anything, that's not your girl. That's not your woman, dog. That's our woman. There is no such thing as a traditional woman online. If she was traditional, she'd be at home worried about the damn kids and the house and keeping her husband satisfied and happy and running the household. Real traditional women don't have time for this online. Sure as fuck aren't on podcasts, have their own podcasts, are debating politics against men, and any of this other is not traditional at all whatsoever for a woman to be doing. It's a very masculine thing. So many dudes get caught up in the grift because they see a pair of tits, a blonde, some colorful eyes, she's skinny, and she says some base. And then all of a sudden, like that last dude from the FBI, they'll forget their common sense and any of the red pill tenets. And they go, nah, she's base. She's so real. And they get got.
Listen, yes, and he's right. One thing I will say, when a chick has her full family, after you marry her, before you marry her, she's with her family. She's chaperoned everywhere she goes, which I know is damn near impossible to find in the developed world. For now, it doesn't exist. But even online, scour the landscape. It may be a thing of the past, but right now it doesn't exist for the most part, or it's in short supply. It's a small percentage. I'm talking 5% worldwide and under 1% in the developed nations, and especially in cities. But if she's chaperoned and she has a full family, that's 360 family, not just you and the kids, not just her and her parents, but a full family. Aunt, uncles, cousins, 360-degree family. If she has that before and during your marriage, don't take her away from her family unless you're gonna take her to your family. If you, as a man, are situated with your family, or close to them. And I mean real close. I don't mean driving half an hour or another state, another country. I mean walking 2 minutes or seconds across the street. You live near your family proximally, in terms of proximity, in terms of position. This is a physical game. And I know 100% of people or 90% of people have not prioritized or optimized for that, or haven't focused on that. I know that everyone is scattered. Everybody's scattered. That's the problem. Families should be growing near each other, especially the family of the female. The female who you may marry should be within her family, a full family, a 360-degree family where she's chaperoned everywhere she goes. So in that context, she could work from home, or she could be on social media, but not the way 90% of women today are on social media, where women like to say guys are creepy. And the way women are on social media, once you are aware, it's ultra creepy. Ultra creepy. There's no sense of family. Most women, when you look at their, it's a bunch of her just running around unchaperoned, and we all know what that means. So and just age and deeds alone, in terms of marriage, it is not reassuring at all. It's just the complete opposite of anything to do with growing a family. It's just not going to happen. And that's fine. I mean, listen, not historically, every man hasn't reproduced, let alone had a family. And listen, there were situations in the past too, you better believe it, where pre-DNA testing, some guys, man, I'm telling you, they slipped some things through and they blew up the Death Star. And so a lot of guys, well, maybe not as much as today, obviously, but there still was a portion of guys, even royalty, that raised kids that were not theirs. You better believe it. There's always been some guy who got some proton torpedoes through and hit the target. So just understand that. It was cutthroat. Most guys did not pass on their genes. And so it's not, bro, you're here, you're gone. I don't think anybody's really worried about, but it's just good to know what the landscape is. So that if you have an opportunity, if you see something, if you see daylight, at least now you have the background and you can pursue it with some wisdom. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. If you meet a family, if you meet good families, if you start to throw parties that are family focused and you invite a bunch of big families for the purpose of seeing if they have viable daughters and if the fathers are competent and you trust them and you can gain their trust, then that is the way. That's how you would potentially meet your wife, your real wife. Most guys are in shadow marriages. And the marriages that are even remaining, because marriage is on a decline, most guys are in shadow marriages. And that's hard for a lot of people to take. But that's what's really happening out here. That's the cold hard truth. So if she's chaperoned before or during your marriage and you have a full family that she's always with, she can have a social media business, but she has family and it's business. She might not even show her face. If she has a garden, she's just showing her hand, and not even her hands, it's her hands with gloves on. That's a real social media endeavor where, oh, if she's making meals or whatever she's doing, even if it's an app or if it's something tech-based or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If she's on social media, it's for something legitimate or family focused. So if she's in France, if she's in Croatia or Dubai or wherever she is, you see her uncle, you see her father, her brothers, etc. She's not with her sisters. It's not just a girls trip with her sisters or aunt. No, that's out of the question. I'm telling you. And that's what guys need to understand. It needs to be the men in the family. Listen, brother, mother, daughter, sisters, okay? None of that stuff. Women are very permissive and they keep secrets and you don't even want to, it has to be, and if you don't understand that, then it's your funeral. It's your funeral. It's your, may God have mercy on your soul. that's on you, brother. If you don't want to, because you still have guys who will deny these things, and it's like, okay, well, whatever. It's just so nuts to me. So this is cutting edge, considering that most guys are flipping out and will deny. This is cutting edge. And I understand if you're afraid to offend your social circle, but just between guys, you should understand what's really happening. You can be private. You can keep your social circle. Some guys should lose a portion of their social circle if your social circle is so out of it and antagonistic towards the truth. But you can manage your circle in the best way you see fit, but you better understand this information and you better use it. I mean, if you're a part of a social circle that's forcing you to date and forcing you to marry, you should probably get out of that social circle, man. And I understand some people, your social circle is also your networking. So I understand that these are difficult things. These are difficult waters to navigate because your livelihood might be tied to. That's why people say the things they say. Because there's no way, even ultra liberal guys, there's no way you still believe that these women are marriageable. And there's no insult to the women. It's just the dynamic. Well, she might be a great person. You know, she didn't kill anybody. She's like, what? She might be a decent person. Yeah. But this is just marriageability. That's all it is. It's just marriageability. So there should be no real offense. Because if you're a real feminist, you would be completely fine with women being independent and not being married. I don't understand what the problem is really. But yeah, she could be on social media if it's family focused. And even if she has some kind of product or service on social media, it should be family. It should still be family focused. It should be a family business. You should see her blood, her blood relatives, her family that's her blood in her posts. It shouldn't be just her showing her body and like, come on, all this nonsense. It's sad. It's sad that no one has a wife. The whole thing is set up for you to be lustful and just starving, brother, because no one has a wife. No one even has a village, or no one has a community. Nobody has a community, a real family. People just have friends. If even, some people don't even have much of that. So, and that's what everyone is looking for, especially females. If you throw a function or a party, you'll see the chicks who will bring, you have lights already. You have everything you need. Even if it's a BYOB party, what will some chicks do? They'll bring extra food. They'll bring little details like little lights, or they'll bring ornamentation. And because it's a family, she's nesting. I'm telling you, brother, I'm telling you, women are attracted to groups. They're attracted to family. And absent their own family that they're interacting with regularly, that they seek it out in marginalized communities or whoever society tells her is oppressed or unjustly being attacked. So, and also her friends or parties and functions and events. This is all just family replacements. That's all this is. And it's not inherently a bad thing. I'm just describing to you what's really happening out here. That this is what's happening out here. It's as clear as day. So she could be on social media, but most women are on social media in the most anti-family, anti-marriage way imaginable. It's just nobody with any sense and any experience and any awareness trusts these women. You can't trust these women for anything resembling family or marriage. You can't trust these chicks out here for any of that stuff. So at best, have a good time, or just don't participate, I guess, which we can debate if that's healthy or not. I mean, I don't think it is. I think it's perfectly fine to engage and have fun, but it needs to be non-committal and lighthearted and casual in perpetuity. But let's get back into it.
Listen to what she says, though. Oh, it's hard to hear. So she's blaming him. Listen to this, right? Your trad Catholic is blaming the guy, saying he got me intoxicated, absolved of all accountability. It wasn't my fault. He got me drunk. I'm a traditional woman drinking alcohol. with a man that's not my husband, which led to something happening over the course of months, not a one-time accident. We were having sex for months while I was making my husband wait. Multiple times my back got blown out. Multiple times guts were rearranged. Multiple times I fell for the trap. Didn't tell my husband I was getting taken advantage of. Mentioned it to nobody. This shit got found out the day of, I think, when they were supposed to get married and officially consummate the marriage. Says, I don't remember much. He got me blackout drunk. Do any of these bitches have any form of accountability whatsoever? Look how sick this shit is. This is her posting the ring saying, I won. And underneath the post, G, is the boss that is smashing her. Bruh. You got down on one knee.
That's crazy.
The Benadryl came out of his peen. You got down on one knee, said, I do. Please marry me. Please. The guy porking your wife, which you have to wait until marriage, which you think is a virgin, is posting underneath her saying, congrats. Congrats on that marriage, big dog. Congrats. How many times was that dude shaking his hands? No. Congrats on the marriage, big dog. Congrats. Can't wait for you guys to consummate your marriage. How many kids you have it? Yeah, what? Excuse me? 20 minutes ago, she was in the office moaning, guts rearranged, spilling paperwork and shit all over the desk. Congratulations, big dog. Goddamn. What's you going to name your first son? In hell. Wow. Whoa. I won. It's like a humiliation ritual these days. I won.
God.
I won. She won.
Unbelievable.
Damn. Much of the online right needs to be expunged. These people are dead weight and not serious. I told you we don't have an online right. There's no real right. It's just liberal and then radical left libs. That's it. He got me drunk. He fed me a Benadryl. He fed me a bunch of shots. At what point did he hold you down or force these items upon this person? Take responsibility, you drunken. Damn. This shit is crazy.
Yeah.
First son's name will be Elijah. Dude, bruh. This is probably one of the worst ones we've seen because the guy, so the conservative podcaster Elijah Schaffer faces divorce. So his wife is divorcing him. Dude had some crazy ass messages on X. My wife left the house, took the kids, all this shit. Oh, and she had an abortion. I forgot to mention that. Man. So Sarah Stock, this woman, calls other women while she cheats on her fiance multiple times despite a blessing from the Pope himself and her being trad Catholic, allegedly had an abortion due to the cheating. Oh, wow.
Allegedly.
Damn. And it is bad enough on him too. So the other guy, the boss, he's not getting enough either, and he should, because that dude had apparently a loyal woman at home with a kid, and he's just out here just smashing his underlings. Damn. These are your conservatives. Young women are what I think one of the biggest problems in society today. Wow. You can't make this shit up. I swear, I think I pulled a video of her, but it got pulled down already. Like she might have deleted her channel and all that other shit. I don't even know if her stuff is still up. Yeah, I don't think her stuff is up anymore. And all the TradCon talking points, all the cringiest shit imaginable. Yeah, look, the video was called How to Ignore the Feminist Hags and Get Married Young. You made an entire video. Can you imagine? You're making a video, ignore the feminist hags and get married young, after you just walked into your house when you're dripping with your boss's chowder, aborted one of his babies, kissing your man, your husband, when you get home, the cheek. I love you so much. You can't wait to consummate our marriage. Bro. Lord, can it get any worse than this? And imagine the husband, imagine the nice guy, the little chud, little trad Catholic. He did it right. The dude waited for marriage, got blessed by the Pope, and he got the end of the stick for all of this. What does that guy think? So everybody's talking about this chick being massive, the boss that's a piece of shit and broke up his marriage. What's everybody think of the husband that got wrong? He did nothing wrong. He's getting completely humiliated.
Well, the thing he did wrong was commit to an unchaperoned chick. But I get it in the sense of what the layman, how most people operate, which is outdated. Oh, he did nothing wrong because she said all the right things. On so many levels, we need to stop just as men, we need to stop listening to women. Just full stop, period. Men need to stop listening to women, brother. In that sense, if you're a guy that wants to have kids or have a family, it starts with the father. And good luck finding a father that chaperoned his daughter and that has boundaries and that isn't afraid to use the power of disownment. I think that's the thing that a lot of people neglect because it's considered archaic and old-fashioned, and people conjure up 1940s post-war crew cut overbearing father smacks his kids around. That's how they got everybody. I used to think the same way. I used to think you have to be your kid's best friend, and it's like that's all ineffective. It's wrong. It's just, I have a completely different game plan. If you're gonna be a father, you should understand that you're not gonna keep all of your kids. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you're not gonna keep all of your kids. If you have 4 kids and if you had to disown 2 of them, you're father of the year. You're a superstar. That's an all-star. This idea that you need to implement unconditional love, which is a gynocentric tendency. It's not a innately masculine tendency or male tendency to have no conditions and to not have boundaries. So you can't live like this anymore. Like, this is just not healthy for anybody. This is turning people into ticking time bombs. This is not healthy for anybody. So, but it happens because guys, your fathers, our fathers, listen, they might have put food on the table for some of you guys, not for my family, but when it comes to this, they failed everybody. They failed everybody. And so now no one has the tools to deal with this new landscape. No one has those tools. Whichever path you choose, if you choose the family path, you should understand that if she's not chaperoned, if she isn't with family, then she is simply not marriageable. That's it. That's his mistake, is that I'm not even concerned about what she did and her nature, her character, or any of this stuff. That's the beauty of it. That's why it's so efficient and so thorough to consider chaperoning. If chaperoning isn't a part of the equation, then you're just setting yourself up for massive degradation, massive failure, massive everything bad. That's it. It's just bad. Everything. So it's a no-go, bro. And this is a game of action. It's not a game of what you think or a game of who you think she is, who you think you are, or how you come off, or some kind of identity or whatever other garbage, inconsequential, ephemeral, vague, ephemeral, non-tangible concept. This is a game of contracts. It's a game of action. It's a game of behaviors and tendencies and boundaries. And listen, I think women can work. I don't think they should be voting. I don't think they should hold office. I think they can work. They can get paid as much money as they want, as much money as they can deal with, carry, whatever. Or even if they can't, just make as much money as you want. Nobody wants to pay taxes to support single mothers or unemployed women or single mothers, or work as much as you want. Do whatever you want. If anything, I'm the true feminist. Women are free to do whatever they want. They can be rambunctious, go run around, do whatever you want. But men still have their rights. For now, the state hasn't forced you to marry these chicks yet, although they do force paternity and child support. So, that's enforced. And that's a tricky subject because, listen, I'm not a fan of guys that try to get chicks to have an abortion. I think that's massively backwards and massively destructive and evil. So there's that. But ultimately, she has that call for now. And I think that's backwards also. And I'm guilty because I voted for that up until 2024. So, and that's shameful. So I get how tricky this stuff is, bro. I get it. Trust me, I'm not poking fun at nobody. I'm not trying to pick on nobody, brother. I know, I get it, but I can't lie. I'm also feel like I'm in the like Neo in the Matrix dodging these bullets because I'm lucky, brother, because my marriage was a year and 3 months and she didn't get nothing off of me, and and she even paid for the divorce. So brother, I'm dodging these chicks like the Matrix. Like and so when I hear this, I just hug myself, brother, because it's like Pillsbury Doughboy, because it's like, it's dangerous out there, bro. When you don't know these things, it's dangerous out there. I know, and I don't do good with stuff like that. So you don't want me catching. Nah. So it's unfortunate, but you do have tools now. You know what the game is, so don't get caught slipping. Protect yourself. Understand what you're dealing with. It's not even like you don't need an aggressive, angry attitude towards women. That's not the issue. Like, the issue is the dynamics are all out of whack. Fathers are the answer, and fathers have to make an attempt. Fathers have to resist the pressure from business. That's what it is. From big business and from their livelihoods. They need to resist all the points that they influence you to throw your daughter into the system. Even as far as public schools, if I had say over how my daughter was raised, I wouldn't send her to public school. I would, as much as I could, I would have her get schooled in an all-girls school and locally, not the far away all-girls school, because bad things happen there. They sneak out, the boys sneak in, and there are parties, and stuff happens there. But locally, she would go to an all-girls school, a private school, or she would get homeschooled or schooled remotely or some hybrid situation, etc. But it's your job as a father to chaperone your daughter. It's just the bottom line. As best you can with the resources you have. And I grew up impoverished, so I get it. I understand when it's not there, it's not there. I get it. But you can still do things. So even if you send your daughter to public school, as best you can, she should try to get into the best school possible. It doesn't reduce opportunities for fornication, but it reduces it. It could make a difference. And as best you can, she should at least go to a local school. So at the very least, you can pick her up from school. But the bottom line is your job as the father to chaperone your daughter and to, as best you can, resist all the temptation and the influence to get her into the system. And most chicks are losing their virginity 14, 15 years old. And women are completely ambivalent, oblivious to this. They don't see it they don't see anything as anything. They don't see anything. They don't see anything. That's not how they're designed. They're designed to follow, and that's what they do. But instead of what would have been their true husband or true father at this point in their life when they're young, instead they get married, or they commit to, or they devote themselves to anything that's anti-father and anti-husband and anti-true husband, anti-real husband, true husband, the guy who marries her first when she's a lady. That's the dynamic for a real husband and a real marriage, is the guy, the potential guy who would have been there if she was a lady and if she had a competent father. Once she gets past that point, even if she marries down the road, it's not her true husband and she's not a true lady. And so it's a corrupt marriage to begin with, just like this. But even there are plenty of ongoing marriages right now that are not the real deal. And people get really incensed when you say that. But it's the truth. There are no real marriages. It's very rare. If it's a small town and she's chaperoned, then okay. But it's very few marriages that are real marriages. Most guys, you have kids, you need to get a DNA test. And I mean 360 DNA tests. Not just your kids, or not just your potential kids, but your siblings, your potential siblings, and your potential father. You need to get a 360, 270, whatever DNA test. 360 degrees, 270 degrees, however you want to slice it, you need to sort out where you are. Figure out exactly where you are positioned. So, all right, but let's see if he has anything else to get into.
First, the comment on it, care to update. Wow. All these women pushing religion and politics on social media are just like the average woman. Sarah Stock is no exception. They flaunt their bodies and opinions for attention, chasing likes instead of truth. I'm not surprised. I've known that for a long time. Oh, man. No e-girls. There were signs. She had a little piercing. Jeez, bro. No e-girls. No e-girl. I told you guys. Dude, it doesn't matter where you... Her nickname is Lane. It doesn't matter where you go. You get a chick that has internet, it's a wrap. Overseas, passport bro shit, traditional society, nothing matters. She's got TikTok, she's active on Instagram, she's posting pics. You're done for. That's not your girl. She's the world's woman. She's vying for the attention of everybody else. Dudes don't believe it until it's too late. So this guy, this nice dude, got married to this chick. She deletes her account too. Is that still, does that even exist? Yeah, her account is done for. Unreal. Damn, the face you make when you cheat on your fiance with your married boss while telling your fiance that you're a virgin and don't want to have sex with him until after marriage while a married man with a wife and small children at home. Abusing the Pope to promote yourself as a Catholic. She'll burn in hell. Damn. Nice boobs, though. That's, of course. Oh, we're cooked. And so says every man. Nice rack. Nice rack. Look at this. This is the Pope blessing right here. Look at this, bro.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Kanye was right. Instagram's got your bitch. Yep. Kanye was right, dude, the whole time. She wrote, look at this tweet. This is a tweet from the chick. Men definitely can have baggage too, LOL. Men will get cheated on and have trust issues forever. It's human nature. And the husband thinks what? Yeah, here's the cliff notes on this. Popular right-wing Catholic trad wife influencer. February 2025, you start sleeping with Elijah Schaffer, her boss. She had sex with him the day she met him. She slept with him one day before the engagement, bro. Oh,
it bees like that.
She didn't even bother stopping until the day before. Multiple pregnancy scares. Did one abortion. Okay, this could all be alleged. I don't know for sure. Okay. She got, because we have to say that just in case. All of this is alleged. Okay. She got engaged in August 25 to Will Setka. Lied to her husband that she's a virgin and told him to wait until marriage. Oh, she fooled her husband and her thousands of followers. Why are women like this? Preach values, traditional ones at that, while secretly living the opposite. And we have a quote by Bob Walls here. When women are let loose to do as they please, away from the influence of men, they have not come up with a cornucopia of great inventions and discoveries. Instead, they have aborted tens of millions of infants, blamed all their problems on men, voted leftists into office, become excessively promiscuous, gotten worthless college degrees, and demanded equally worthless make-work jobs. Believe that wealth falls like manna from heaven. Come to believe marriage is temporary. Destroy children's lives through easy divorce and single parenthood, and rationalize every bit of it. Damn. Ouch. There you go. We'll call it with that one. That's brutal.
It's just, it is what it is. It's terrible out here. All you can do is just know the truth. That's all you can do. You know, all the other like bigger things, the birth rates and society and repealing the 19th, which I support. And a lot of women, and not that it should matter, but a lot of women support it too. But it's, if there's going to be any conflict, it's going to be men. So the real issue is getting men to support it. That's the real fight. And say, you know, I don't know, like, you know, I mean, I don't think we'll see that in our time. I think that's for the future generations. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But I think it's very clear. I think the writing on the wall is the 19th has to be repealed. But there's so much influencing. The most basic description is big money influences government and wants women outside of the home and in influential positions. and it lowers everybody. It literally lowers men to women's level, which is permissiveness, and the smaller of the, with human beings, there's men and women. And so they are the smaller, the weaker, the less physically impactful, and the more burdened from a physical level, from a physical biological level. And denying that is just mindless at this point. It's just pure mindlessness. You are mindless, and you're conflating aspiration and maybe ethics and even legality. It's not equal. Even in terms of the law, it's not equal. So ethically, aspirationally, you could say in terms of opportunity, men and women should be given equal opportunity and equal consideration as a citizen for the baseline, for civility. Once you go past that, it deviates. Once you go past that, it deviates. So that's not an argument for voting. Voting, men and women are not equal. At 18, all men at 18 need to submit their name to selective service. I forgot about that, but I looked it up. I looked up my number, and it's still there, obviously. Each man, when you're 18, you're on this selective service list. Women don't have to do that. That alone forfeits their right to vote. Point blank, period. But then there's a mountain of other purely reasonable, logical, truthful reasons why they shouldn't be voting. And the most damning evidence is where we are right now as a society, with abortions, with LGBTQ being pushed on children, with open borders, with the maniacal reaction to ICE. All of this stuff is mindless, absolutely mindless, and just bonkers. So, but the best you can do as a man is to just take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones as best you can, if they even respect you. And just, if you're gonna fornicate, do it right. Stop paying and stop dating, and stop committing to these women. This is an extreme example, but this is happening every damn day in one fashion or another. Most of the couples you see out there, you can tell when it's just the guy who she's following, who's not following her, and they're just dipping, they're just on the way to this or to that. And when it's the guy who's following her and they're on a date and he's having to do all this exorbitant relationship work, all this relationship drudgery and relationship busy work, like grinding, relationship grind. It's like, brother, spend all of that on partying and you'll get better returns. So I'll leave you with that. And man, this was a banger, right? Literally, it was a banger. Yo, I'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you next time.